Shamshawan here at ISBHPK San Antonio, and with me I have Priest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Gabar Kawah.
Yeah,
go ahead. Shalom.
All right, and today's topic. Welcome to another exciting edition of ISBHPK here in San Antonio, Texas, and we've had a school down here in San Antonio for quite a few years now, a number of years, and we'd like to go over a few topics dealing with history and a few topics dealing with as far as etiquette, proper dealings with one another, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, things like that, Bible prophecy. But today we're going to deal with charity. Today's topic is about charity. It's about according to the scriptures, what is charity according to the Bible, and how do we implement charity with one another according to the Bible. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and just get a roundabout idea based off of definition of what is charity. So let's get a basic definition. Let's get the dictionary real quick to get an idea of a basic definition of charity, and then we're going to going into depth according to the scriptures about what is charity. So let's get charity in the Webster's dictionary, and then we're going to go to the Bible to really go into the details of charity. And hopefully, it's going to be exciting, and hopefully, it'll be educational, edification, full of edification and understanding, so that we can build one another up morally with a new understanding. Let's get that definition of charity in Webster's dictionary.
Okay, charity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It is in a general sense,
Mm-hmm.
love.
So in a general sense, so pretty much what encompasses what charity adds up to in a general sense. This is the meaning of charity. Go ahead.
In a general sense, love.
Go ahead.
Benevolence.
Benevolence is what we give. Is what we give. What we have to give one another. Is what we owe one another. Go ahead.
Goodwill.
It's a good will, a good disposition. So a good will is a good mind, because your will is your desire. It's your disposition. It's your state of mind. So charity in a definition is a good will. So it's a normal behavior or a normal attribute that I carry in my mind, which is love, which is benevolence, which is the ability to do and treat one another well. I have a desire to already it's embedded in me to have a desire to do right by you. That's what it means to have goodwill. It's already my desire to treat you right. Meaning that's my first disposition, that's my first state of mind, is to treat you right and to treat you well and to do you good. So that's a general sense of charity, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful definition right there so far. Anything else in there?
Yes, sir. That disposition of heart.
So same thing I just said right there, disposition of heart or disposition of mind. So it's the already embedded mind frame that we're supposed to naturally have for our brothers. Right. So it's the state of mind that I should already carry. So instead of having a negative mind or negative thought process or untrustworthy, untrusting mentality, I should already have the desire to want to do right by you. And although we're in a negative world, in an evil world, it still shouldn't affect and change my desire to how I should want to treat you. But when you go into the scriptures, you find out why people don't normally carry this disposition of mind, this disposition of goodwill, this disposition of heart, or this love, or this benevolence to automatically want to treat you right. So just really quick to get a little understanding of why isn't there charity established already, and why don't we naturally walk around with the desire to want to be right by one another? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 29, verse 7, just to get a little bit of an understanding why people don't have this disposition or this state of mind already with them on a daily basis. Ecclesiastes chapter 29, and we're going to get verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 29 and verse 7.
That's page 88 in the Apocrypha. Page 88 in the Apocrypha. Let me know when we get it. I don't want to rush too much, but let's go ahead and let's get that started.
Ecclesiasticus 29 and verse 7. Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill.
It says, many therefore have refused to what?
To lend for other men's ill dealing.
To lend means to give, right? Or to offer somebody something. To lend, I'm going to lend you something, I'm going to give you something. I'm lending you something, I'm giving you something. So the scripture is telling us that many therefore, maybe not everybody, but many therefore have what?
Refused to lend for other men.
What to do what?
To lend.
Stop right there. To lend, which means to give. So we're supposed to have a giving nature about us. We should have a giving nature about us. That's what love is. That's what benevolence is. That's what a disposition of heart, a goodwill is to automatically want to treat you right and to want to see good come to you. But it says many have refused to what?
To lend.
So, or to give. So now my ability to give or to lend or to do right or to want to see good has been tainted. For what reason? By what reason?
For other men's ill dealing.
Because of what?
Other men's ill dealing.
So what has happened? What has happened, and what is wrong with the nature of people, and why their first inclination is not to just want to show you love and do right by you? Because, what has happened to people?
Well, it's because they don't want the people. You got a bad idea, reflection of it, because when you ask for help from them, or they didn't give to you, so that's turned you off on giving because everybody's not helped you or given to you.
In a sense, yes. Yes, exactly. But also, because at one point in time when I did have that compassion, and I did show that love, and I did extend myself, and I did trust people, or trust someone with my feelings, and with, or something sacred, or even some monetary ability, money. Or favors. I did someone favors. Or whatever it is that came from me that I said, no, I got your back. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it for you. You short? Don't even worry about it. Don't trip. I'll cover that for you. Or you need that? I barely got it myself, but you know what? You need it more than me. I'm going to make sure you got it. But it was never reciprocated. It never came back. So a lot of that goodwill that went out, it went out and it never came back in return. And for that reason, because it didn't come back, now my state of mind and my first inclination is to hesitate or to think about, I'm not sure, man. I don't know. I don't know if I got it. Hit me back. Hit me back on payday. Maybe I'll have it. Or let me check my schedule and see if I'm freed up. When before, it was already sure, I'll be there.
It
was no doubt. You need it? Hey, take the keys, man. Bring it back to me when you're done with it.
But because it wasn't appreciated, or it was taken for granted.
Taken for granted, or destroyed, or abused. The gift or the offering was abused, or it wasn't reciprocated. It wasn't appreciated or valued, like you said.
Right. Now there's a doubt.
Now there's a doubt in my what? And my charity.
So what does that make you when you somewhat passive about that situation?
That just makes you untrusting.
No. You are, because you lend it, but then you know what it is, so you like, you know what, I'm gonna do this again. And then boom, I'm gonna do this again.
You know what that's called? That's called giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. That's what that is. If you still have it in you to even stick your neck out for somebody and put your neck out on the line for somebody.
Because it hurt you, but then it didn't hurt you that bad to where you just was.
That's a beautiful thing, to have the ability to not get sour when, or even to shut down your ability to share or give or offer when damage has been occurred. That's a beautiful ability to not let it stain you and stain your charity. And that's what we're gonna get into a little bit into the class. You know what I'm saying? But it's perfect. What you're asking is excellent, because that's the nature of what that's the mind frame we're supposed to have. That's the heart we're actually supposed to have, is to be able to endure being defrauded, endure being taken advantage of, endure being stabbed in the back or unappreciated.
Right. I appreciate it.
But let's read that one more time for clarity's sake.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 29, and verse 7. Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing.
Because of what somebody else did to me, now it damaged my ability to do good for somebody else that came after me. Now I'm having a harder time, or there's a struggle, when before previously there wasn't any struggle. When previously there wasn't any issues with me giving or me offering. I trusted openly. I yielded myself to the needs of another person. But because of the damage that was done, I'm having a hard time doing that. Now my ability has been stunted. My charity has been stunted. So according to the scriptures, let's
continue. There's still a little bit there.
yeah, go ahead.
Fearing to be defrauded.
Fearing to be what?
To be defrauded.
So when I don't have I'm glad you said that. Fearing to be what?
Defrauded.
So now I operate in a mind frame of what? Fear. So instead of just normally saying, hey, you need it? Now, I don't know. Let me wait and see. Come back, hit me back. That's what? That's fear. That's doubt. Doubt is fear. Fear is hesitation. Hesitation is doubt. Hesitation is fear. It's all fear.
It causes you to ask, well, why do you need it?
Right. Do you really need it? What you need it for?
What you need it for?
Right.
You know.
That's
Right.
me.
You know.
It brings that down.
Yeah, that's all out of doubt. That's fear talking.
Right.
He says fearing to be what?
Fearing to be defrauded.
Fearing to be taken advantage of. That's what we don't. That's what eliminates our ability to have goodwill, to have a disposition of heart, to have benevolence, and to have love, like the definition says. Because I now fear being taken advantage of. I don't want to be burned. I don't want nobody to burn me no more. I already been burned enough. You know, because the saying in the world is, you know, you fool me once, shame on you. You know what I'm saying? You fool me twice, shame on me. Because I let you burn me. Now I let you do this to me. I stuck my neck out there. I'm the fool now. So now the shame is on me. So because we have that saying in the world, you know, that's the mind frame. I gave you a chance. You took advantage of me. There's no need for me to continue trusting you anymore. And sometimes some people are one and done.
But then it's that saying in the world, killing with kindness also.
Right. And you know, that mentality and that disposition of mind also comes from the scriptures. When you look at where that relates from, where that comes from, the origin of that mentality comes from the scriptures. That's what meekness is about. That's the definition of meekness. Meekness is the ability to endure injury patiently without resentment. That means that now I can endure people taking advantage of me, and it doesn't stain me. It doesn't ruin me. It doesn't change my heart. It doesn't change my good nature. It doesn't change who I am. You know what? I might be doubtful, but when I see the need, I still have that ability to not be cold. It didn't shut me off to where I'm cold now. You know, so this is beautiful in what it's saying. It says fearing to be what?
Fearing to be defrauded.
Fearing to be defrauded. So that's the nature of charity, is not having that fear of being taken advantage of. I still carry about me the ability to give, to show love, you know, because a lot of times we get into that mentality of, you know, well, all men are dogs now. All women are B's. All women are H's. You know, I can't trust no one. Then you get the T-shirt that says roll 1D. You know, I roll one deep. Trust no one. You know what I'm saying? Who do I trust? Me. That's who. So then you get the Scarface mentality because you don't trust nobody, you know? And sometimes that mentality has been embedded in us because from our parents. And why do our parents have that mentality? Because they've been defrauded.
Right.
Because they've been hurt. Because they've been damaged. And their trust has been taken advantage of. And they've been heartbroken. And they've been stabbed in the back. And they've been deceived. And they've been lied to. So now because they've been damaged, they're going to ensure to their children to pass down the same mentality not to trust. Man, don't you give your heart to nobody. Don't you trust. Don't you trust nobody. Don't you give. You don't know him. Now it's a lot of fear that gets passed down also.
Right.
There's a lot of fear that gets dispensed from parent to child because that parent was hurt. You know, don't trust no man. Can't trust no man. Can't trust no woman. Now that fear gets passed down to where now normally when I didn't have that fear, now I got this skepticism about it. So now I'm very tentative, which is good. It's good to be cautious and aware. But now I got this idea that I can't really give you what you're asking. You know the truth of it is, can you really stop yourself from getting burned and hurt? No. You know the truth of it is, the scripture says offenses shall come. You know what that means? That means somewhere down the line, somebody's going to take advantage of you. Somebody's going to hurt you. Somebody's going to break your trust. You know,
It might not be that particular.
It might not be that particular person, but eventually it's going to happen anyway. There's no way to stop offenses. There's no way to stop it. But do I now become this crab in the shell? Or, you know, this turtle in the shell, and now become this hermit, and now because I don't trust nobody now. So I'm just gonna shut the world off, and it's gonna be me, myself, and I. Because that's all I trust.
It changes your outlook.
Yeah, that outlook is
That
there.
outlook is negative now.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's also hindering. So.
right, you know, because you got to trust someone.
Exactly.
You got to be able to put yourself back out there to even to love again. You have to trust to love again. To want to do somebody right again, you have to give somebody a small piece of yourself and see what they do with it. And then, okay, they did right by. Okay, let me give them a little bit more. Okay, they did good. Let me give them a little bit more of myself. We're supposed to do good by one another. So let's get back to the definition of charity, and then we'll get into the class a little bit.
The definition of charity. First, it's in a general sense, love, benevolence, goodwill.
So it's love, benevolence, goodwill, in a general sense.
Right.
Go ahead.
That disposition of heart.
So it's a state of mind that I carry that I want to do right by people. I want to do right. I want to do people right. I want to do good to them. Go ahead.
Which inclines men to think favorably.
It gives me the ability. Charity gives me the ability. It equips me with the ability to deal with men what?
Favorably.
Meaning what?
Meaning you trust them to give favor to them.
You know, favor.
To take a chance.
Exactly. That's what. Exactly. I'm gonna give this person an opportunity to gain and win my friendship and win my trust. To get in, to get to know me a little bit, or to get close to me. I'll let this person in a little bit more.
Right.
And instead of thinking an automatic mentality of you're gonna burn me, take advantage of me, not do right by me. Now I have a favorable mentality towards you. Now the favorable mentality definition of favor is friendship, it's kindness, and it's trust. Friendship, kindness, and trust. It's favor. So now I think about you like you could be a friend of mine. I think about you like we could be closer than this. We don't have to be just strangers from a distance. I automatically have a mentality that I'm willing to give you an opportunity to get in, to let you in my life, and let you in my heart, and let you know my thoughts. Versus I can't, because that's what the world does. They damage that perspective. I can't trust you. Go ahead.
think favorably or of their fellow man.
Of their fellow man. So charity is having the ability to think positively and to think favorably. Meaning, I want this person can be my friend, we could be friends. To think favorably, think positively, and also to be kind natured, to be kind hearted, to be gentle, to be kind hearted towards your fellow man.
Right.
That's what charity is all about, in a general sense.
Right. But also,
Go ahead, please.
with the thinking of, with the mentality of, which is, it still makes it incomplete, but complete with the rest of the definition here.
Go ahead.
And to do them good.
And to do them good. Right.
To do it. So not only be in the mentality of it, but
to execute.
to execute it, to actually do them good. That completes the definition of charity.
I like what you're saying, because it's good to think about doing somebody good, but it's not complete until you show somebody good, until you execute charity. So charity is, so thinking about charity and having a love and having a thought process to do right is only half of what charity is about. That's excellent. That's excellent. Anything else in there you want to bring up?
No, that's. Oh, well, actually, there's still a little bit more. It says, in a theological sense, it includes supreme love.
Supreme love. Go ahead.
To God and universal good will to men.
Right. You know what? That means that I automatically have a mind to do right by the Most High. Therefore, people around me will benefit from that mentality, because I have an allegiance to the Most High, and I acknowledge the Father, and I know that this is His desire, that I have this type of relationship with Him. So it's nothing for me to show it to my fellow man. It's nothing for me to extend myself, because I know I already have established this relationship with the Father. So we have a general sense of what is charity, right? So let's read Luke chapter 12, verse 43. I love the definition that you bring out. We're going to go to Luke chapter 12, verse 43.
Luke chapter 12, verse 43. Blessed is that servant.
Blessed is that servant. Go ahead.
Whom his Lord, when he cometh,
go ahead,
shall find so doing.
And I like what you just brought out on the end of that definition of charity, because having the disposition or state of mind to want to treat a person right, and having the desire to want to do you good and to be fair to my fellow man, it's part of charity. But actually, the blessing comes in when my Lord comes back and He finds me doing charity, performing the actual acts of charity. Read that again.
Luke chapter 12, chapter 12, verse 43. Blessed is that servant.
Go ahead.
Whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
So let's look at some of the things that we're supposed to be doing and executing when it comes to charity. What is charity about? What's the essence of it? So let's read 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 20 in the Apocrypha. We're going to go to 2 Ezra chapter 2. And somebody also, I want to parallel the scripture to St. John chapter 5, verse 3. So somebody give me 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 20. And also get and hold St. John chapter 5, verse 3. Who has 2 Ezra 2 and 20? Go ahead.
2 Ezra in the Apocrypha, 2nd chapter, 20th verse.
All right, and give me that St. John chapter 5, verse 3, okay? Let's read that.
Do right to the widow.
So when the scripture says, blessed is the man that when his Lord cometh, finds so doing. Doing what?
Do right to the widow.
Doing what?
Doing right to the widow.
So doing right to a widow instead of taking advantage of a widow, because what doesn't a widow have? A husband. So being that she's without a husband, she's without a head. So she's without leadership. She's without direction. She's without protection. She's without a counselor So being that she doesn't have a counselor, she doesn't have leadership, she doesn't have a head which dictates direction, she doesn't have someone to assist her with things that's necessary that a man can do. So now, instead of taking advantage of this woman that doesn't have a head, that doesn't have leadership or a counselor and which a man provides, it says we're supposed to do right by them. So the blessing comes in when Christ comes back and he sees us doing right to the widow, to who else?
Judge for the fatherless.
And also making a decision to take care of the best way possible to take care of who?
The fatherless.
The fatherless. Now, being a fatherless, a child that's fatherless, what is that? What is he missing?
He's missing guidance also.
He's missing a guide, guidance. He's missing a tutor. He's missing a main educator for his particular gender. He's missing that person to give him insight, that grooming of what the definition of what a man is supposed to be. He's missing a person to calculate at what age and what items that he should be working on as a young man, grooming him into a man. So now as a fatherless child, I'm missing all those things. I'm missing the comfort, the protection, the leadership, the education, the example. I'm missing all that. So as I get older, I only become a product of of who raised me. And a lot of us, especially our people, if we don't have fathers in our homes, the streets raise us. The streets and the neighborhoods become our parents. They become the ones that groom us. They become the ones that dictate our decision making, that dictate our culture, that shows us, okay, this is what it means to be a man. A man does these things. So we'll adopt all these foreign sources of information and knowledge on what it means to be a man because I simply didn't have a man in my household. So the blessing comes in is when a man is looking towards still being that leader and that guide, that example, and that mentor, that friend, and that counselor to that widow and also to that fatherless child, and who else?
Give to the poor.
And the ones that are without. There's a lot of responsibilities. Charity encompasses a lot of responsibilities. So the blessing comes when I take the responsibility of doing these things for these people that don't have. So what I'm looking at, what charity is about, is also learning to, or having the love, a disposition of mind, and the desire to want to fill the gap. Now I want to fill the gap for what this person is missing. I don't want to take advantage of this person. I don't want to abuse this person any more than they've already been abused. I don't want to hurt this person any more than they've already been hurt. When you look at our people, their trust has already been broken. They've already been lied to. They've already been misguided. They've already been taken advantage of. They've already had all their goodwill destroyed. Now they have a dark countenance, a dark cloud. They don't have the natural ability to want to share, give, extend themselves to help, to assist, because they've been hurt. So how do you pull somebody back out of that? You come back and befriend them and show them that you can trust again. Let me do this for free. Let me be this mentor. Let me be this guy, this big brother, big sister, this father, this friend, this educator. Let me do this out of the goodwill of my heart. A lot of times, especially for our people, our teachers became our parents. Our coaches, football, baseball, basketball, our coaches became our parents. You look at LeBron James. Who does he always give credentials to and credit to his upbringing? His coach, his mom, and his coach. You don't really hear or see that example of that strong male influence as far as a father goes, but you see it in somebody else like an uncle or a coach or a neighbor. Sometimes your best friend's father was like your father. Sometimes your best friend, dad was your educator and tutor. He took you under his wing. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. How do we know this? Just jump back a little bit and give me 2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 28.
Second Ezra chapter 1.
Yeah, 2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 28.
Verse 28. Thus saith the Almighty Lord,
Go ahead.
have I not prayed you as a
He
father?
says, have I not dealt with you as a what?
As a father?
He says, so the Most High has been trying to even establish that relationship with us like a what? Like a father. Go ahead.
His sons as a mother, her daughters?
And he says, as a father to his sons, and as a what?
As a mother, her daughters?
Have I not been trying to deal with you like a mother would her daughter? Now, how does a mother deal with her daughter?
Caring.
Loving, caring, consoling. You know what? As she goes through her emotional changes, as her hormones start to develop, changing, body changing, thoughts changing, anatomy changing, physiology changing, that mother is there to guide her through all those changes, all those feelings that come up, that get brought out of nowhere. A mother is there to either suppress them, lead them, guide them, educate them, talk to them, befriend them, love them, counsel them, show them what a woman is, how a woman behaves. Her behavior is becoming of a woman. How many times have you heard, hey, that's not ladylike, from a mother to a daughter? That's not ladylike. So what is she trying to establish with that daughter? How to be a lady. Because she's the one to discern that behavior is unbecoming of a lady. That behavior is proper as far as becoming a lady. So keep your legs closed. Don't sit with your legs open. You got a dress on, keep your legs closed. You hear this growing up. Wear a skirt. Where's an undershirt? You know what I'm saying? Cover your shoulders. You hear this tutoring, especially coming from grandmas, moms. I'm trying to groom you up into a position. This is what charity is all about. It's supposed to be for free. Meaning I automatically have the desire in me to want to groom you up like a parent, like a mother to a daughter or a father to a son. It's in me to want to care about you, to raise you up to this position of responsibility, of behavior, of conduct, of virtue. It's in me to want to do this for you. It's free. It's coming out of my heart. That's what charity is about. It says, the Most High said he's been trying to deal with us that way. Go ahead.
And a nurse to her young babes.
Like a nurse to her young baby. How do you nurse a baby? Like that? Yeah, you rock the baby to sleep. You sing the song and you put the baby.
For a while,
Yeah.
like we was sick when I was little. Mom gonna come in there with the soup and the crackers.
Yeah, the soup and the crackers with the Vicks.
Brother, touch like mama touch.
Smell it like Vicks. Hit your bucket. Got Vicks in your nose. Got Vicks all over your chest and your neck. Got Vicks coming all the way up here. Got cotton balls in your ear with peroxide in it. You know, and when you sick, where do you want to sleep at? You want to sleep with mama. Bed full of sick babies.
And she take that.
And you know what she do? She got your feet with onions in it, onions in your socks, pulling toxins out your body. How do you nurse that baby? You nurse that baby to health. You know what? I love the definition of nurse. I don't know if we have it anywhere, we should. But there's a great definition of nurse. So we can really see what it defines, how it's defined. Got it? The water. Let's get that. Because the Most High said, man, this is how I've been trying to deal with our people. He said he's been trying to deal with us like a nurse, her babies, like a father to a son, a mother, her daughters. The Most High has been trying to establish this relationship with us. And he set the parameter, and he set the example of how we're supposed to deal with our fellow man and our fellow brother and our people.
I got it. It says nurse,
Mm-hmm.
to tend as infants.
He says to tend as what?
As infants.
So how does a nurse tend to a baby?
As infants.
Do you leave a baby alone?
No.
Do you leave a baby unattended?
No.
No. You never leave a baby unattended. You always stay in visual proximity of the child or auditory proximity of the child. you always stay within range of whether you can hear the baby cry. And you know what? If you have kids, for those that have children, mothers have super ears. I'm talking about like extraterrestrial ears. Like they can hear sounds from outer space.
That's hilarious.
Because you could be admit for those that have women in the house or mothers in the house, you know that you could be in mid-conversation and she could be responding to you. Yeah, she like, hold up. And she just paused. And a man be like, still talking, like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, the baby's crying. What? I don't hear no baby. Sure enough. You know what? It's almost like a sixth sense. It's a mother's intuition. You know what mother understands? Men don't always get it. But a mother understands there's a variety of cries that a baby possesses. Men just say, man, get the baby crying. They don't know the cry. The baby home. No, the baby's not hungry. The baby just got gas. The baby's bloated. Like there's a cry for, you didn't know, men don't know that there's a cry for being gassy. Oh, there's a cry for being colicky. Oh, there's a cry for being tired. Oh, the baby just sleepy. The baby just tired, that's all. All we hear is a cry. But a mother hears 10, 20 different ranges and octaves of sounds in that cry. A mother hears the urgencies within the cry. A mother hears things that communication between the baby and the mother is there. You know, when you look at a lot of psychology books, they always refer to, in psychology, the relationship between humans, and they always use a mother and a baby's relationship, how they establish eye contact. When mommy's feeding and nursing the baby, there's a lot of eye contact going on. There's a lot of syncope, and there's a lot of coinciding of the breathing. A lot of times the mothers and the baby, they're breathing, and the breath, the smell of the breath, the heart rate puts the baby to sleep. The baby can feel that heart rate, and when that baby knows, that's my mom. They know about the smell. They know the voice. They know the sound. And a mother can hear 20 children crying in a room, but a mother always knows that baby's particular cry. When you're talking about the type of discernment that a parent has, the ability to pick a cry out of a crowd, to pick a sound out of a crowd of a busy daycare. No, that's my baby crying. That's my daughter. That's my son crying. That's a very discriminating ability. That's a lot of attention to detail. And that's what we owe one another. That's really what charity is. In essence, I have that kind of attention to detail to my fellow man. I'm that in tune with this person to when I know when they need me. And I know what they need. A baby can't talk for at least a year and a half. But how does that mother know so much when there's no words? Because there's a lot of attendance going on. There's a lot of relations. That mother and that baby has that bonding time. That's why they say the bonding time is so important between a mother and a child.
The whole pregnancy period is a form of charity.
It is a form of charity. It's bonding. You know, a newborn baby and a mother are attached at the hip, attached side by side every day. They got this. They got you know the baby. You can put the baby down next to you. The baby will roll and scoot right up under your rib, and won't get comfortable until that baby's right next to you. Till you got a knee in your back, or knee in your chest, or a knee in your rib, or a foot in your mouth. Because they've developed that communication to one another. He said, but the Most High says, this is what he's been trying to develop with us. Where our communication with the Father is to that level as well. And we're also supposed to duplicate that type of attention to detail with one another. That's what charity is all about. I know what my brother needs from me. You don't even got to say it. That means that I should be able to see my brother and know my brother well enough, because the scripture does say, know them that labor amongst you. Right? We're supposed to have that type of discernment one with another, that I can see what my brother needs from me. But let's read on in that verse right there. Second Ezra chapter 1. And no, that definition. I want more of that definition of nurse.
Okay. Second definition is it means to suckle.
To suckle, you know, like a baby suckles from a mother. To draw from. Go ahead.
To nourish at the breast.
To nourish at the breast. Go ahead.
To attend and take care of in child's bed, as to nurse a woman in her illness.
So, or nurse a woman in her illness, or nurse someone back to health. What else you got?
To cherish, to foster,
To foster,
to encourage, to promote growth in.
So now think about how the Most High wants us to deal with one another. He said we're supposed to do what with one another?
To cherish.
That's what charity is. If I owe my fellow man charity, then I'm supposed to foster this person. You know what that means? That means I'm not going to let you grow up by yourself. We're supposed to be taking one another under each other's care, to where I'm not going to let you grow up on your own. I'll make sure you have nourishment. I'll make sure you have what you need to function, to grow, to develop. You won't be malnutrition. You got some kids that got metal mouths. Why they got metal mouths? 2, 3, 4 years old. All that candy. So much candy, all the teeth are rotted out. What's been missing? What's been missing in that relationship? That nourishment. I haven't been giving this child what they need to develop. I've actually been hindering the child's development. They're supposed to be developing the teeth, not decaying the teeth already. That means some type of nourishment has been missing. Some of the fostering for this child has been missing. He said to nurse is to what? To foster?
To cherish, to foster, to encourage.
To encourage.
To promote growth in.
To promote growth in. That's what charity is all about. That's what the Most High said charity is.
Right.
I'm fostering this person's development. I take the responsibility to oversee, to make sure that this person is growing, and I'm giving them what they need to develop. That's what it means to really have that charity, because that's what the Most High has been doing with us. He's been trying to establish with us. Let that go and go back to 2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 28.
2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 28.
Read it again.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, have I not prayed you as a father his son?
So the Most High has been trying to foster us, encourage us to grow, develop us, nurse us, and suckle us. Go ahead.
As a mother her daughters.
Go ahead.
And a nurse her young babe.
Go ahead.
That ye would be my people.
That we would be what?
My people.
So in order to be God's children, we got to be shown. We got to be fostered and raised up and nourished. So he's been trying to do that with us as his people. He's been the one that's trying to feed us and groom us and educate us and build us up. Go ahead.
And I should be your God.
Go ahead.
That ye would be my children.
And so he's trying to develop a relationship. He wants a relationship with us. The same way that we should want a relationship with one another. That means that the same love I got for the Father, I'm supposed to exhibit it towards my fellow man. So I should want a relationship with you. I should want to exchange dialogue and to exchange information and get to know one another so that we can foster each other and look after one another. I'm supposed to use this example that the Most High is explaining that he wants with us to be also the example that I use to deal with my brother. Read on.
And I should be your father.
Read.
I gathered you together as a hen gathereth her chicken.
Wait a minute. He said that he put us in a position like a hen gathers her chickens. Where does the chickens dwell at when it comes to the mother hen?
Next.
Under the wing. Right under that wing. That you know what that hen does? That hen, sometimes you don't even know that there's some chickens under that wing until the mother hen opened up the wings and you see 10 little chickens in there. You never even knew they was in there because they've been protected. They're covered. And they're being nourished. The Most High said, listen, I've been trying to do this with us, but we should also want to do this with one another. He said, what?
I gathered you together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wing.
Go ahead.
But now, what shall I do unto you?
Now let's see. The Most High had this mentality to want to put us under his wing. Who else had this mentality to want to have this type of love, this type of benevolence, this type of charity, or a goodwill disposition in the heart to want to put you under their wing? Go to Matthew chapter 23 and give me verse 37. Mm-hmm. 37.
37. Matthew 23 and verse 37.
Let everybody get it. Read this right here. Everybody get it.
27.
23 and 37. Matthew chapter 23, verse 37. Got it? All right, go ahead.
Oh, Jerusalem,
Go ahead.
Jerusalem.
Who's talking right now?
Yahweh, Christ.
This is Christ speaking, right? See, the Bible's written read. We already just read what the Most High said he was trying to do with us as his people. So he could be our God and we'll be his people. Go ahead.
Thou that killest the prophets
Go ahead.
and stonest them which are sent unto thee.
Go ahead. So the prophets were sent to the children of Israel and we put them to death. Go ahead.
How often would I have gathered thy children together?
What did Christ say?
Says, how often
He says, how often I would have what?
would I have gathered thy children together,
Go ahead.
even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not.
So who else was in that mind frame to want to put you under their wing?
Christ.
Christ. Christ was. So not only was this the mind frame of the Father, it was also the mind frame of Christ. That I want to put you under my wing. I want to be your protector. So we're showing two examples, both from the Most High and from Christ, of how we're supposed to be towards one another. So the question is, are we taking one another under our wings and grooming us and grooming one another, nourishing one another, attending to the needs of? Am I putting the chickens under my wings? Those that need my help. That's what charity is all about. And who established that first? The Most High in Christ. And I'm supposed to follow that particular attribute and have that ability to not just be concerned with myself, to make sure that I'm okay, to make sure that I'm taken care of, to making sure that I'm looked after, but I'm also supposed to be looking at who needs my help. Who can I groom? Who can I raise up? That's what it says. That's what it means when it says, "Blessed is that servant when his Lord come and find it so doing." Now let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 20, on down to 23 real quick.
2nd Ezra is the second chapter, the 20th verse through 23.
Mm-hmm.
Do right to the widow.
So if we want to be blessed by the Most High in Christ, then we have an onus, a responsibility, one towards another, to do right by each other. Go ahead.
Judge for the fatherless.
Read on.
Give to the poor.
Read on.
Defend the orphan.
Defend the orphan. Go ahead. What does an orphan have? Parents. Go ahead.
Clothe the naked.
Clothe the naked. Read.
Heal the broken and the weak.
Go ahead.
Laugh not a lame man to scorn. Defend the man, and let the blind man come into the sight of my clearness.
Now, who was doing that? Now go to St. John chapter 5, verse 3, and let's see if that sounds familiar. That type of disposition towards your fellow man. Let's find out if that sounds familiar. Let's go to St. John chapter 5, verse 3. Where could Christ be found when he was walking the earth? St. John chapter 5, verse 3.
St. John chapter 5 and verse 3. Says,
Verse 2.
verse 2. Now there is at Jerusalem,
Let's start at verse 1.
verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews. And Jesus went up to Jerusalem.
And so Christ went up to Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda,
Mm-hmm.
having 5 portions.
Go ahead.
In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk.
So where was Christ found at? Where could Christ be found at?
In the multitude of impotent folks.
In the multitude of what?
Impotent folks.
Impotent folks, meaning they lack strength. To be impotent means you lack strength, or you lack vigor, or you lack power, or you lack ability. So Christ can be found with those that didn't have ability to help themselves. They were impotent. Go ahead.
It says, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water.
So where Christ can be found amongst the sick and those that have need. That's what he was about. He was around those that didn't have the ability to help themselves. They were at a disadvantage. They were at a handicap, or they were handicapped. They were set back in their ability to grow or to function. That's where Christ was found at. That's where we need to be found at. We need to be found around those that need our help, around those that need our assistance. Not around those that are already strong, that are already taken care of. We need to be around those that don't have the ability to take care of themselves. And how does the Most High honor that? Let's finish where we was at. Let that go. Let's finish where we was at in 2nd Ezra chapter 2. And now read verse 23 one more time.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Wheresoever thou findest the dead, take them and bury them.
So it was a list. Heal the broken. It says, actually, the list started
Oh, 21.
from do right to the widow, judge for the fatherless, give to the poor, defend the orphan, clothe the naked, heal the broken and the weak, laugh not a man to scorn, defend the maimed, and let the blind man come into the sight of my clearness. Keep the old and the young within thy walls.
Wheresoever
Go ahead.
thou findest the dead, take them and bury them.
And if I'm found amongst all these individuals that need my help, and I'm looking to fill the gap, and I'm looking to fill the need of those around me that don't have the ability to be strong for themselves, what did the Most High say?
And I will give thee the first place.
He says he's going to give you what?
The first place.
What does it mean to be first place? You won. You the champion. You know, if you got the Olympics on right now, going on, and the Olympics is, about establishing a winner of a particular event. And the winner gets the gold. The winner of that particular event gets the gold medal. Second place, get the silver. Third place, get the bronze. What will always give you the first place with the Most High? Charity. You will always be first in the eyes of the Father if you establish charity with your brethren. He said, I will give you the what?
The first place.
Go ahead.
In my resurrection.
So when Christ comes back, guess what we sitting at when he returns? You get the first. You get the first place. But instead of some gold coins on a necklace, we receive gold crowns. We receive those crowns of gold. And we get to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's what we should be wanting to hear when Christ returns. But there are some things that need to be done. There's some obligations that need to be filled. There's some maimed people that need to be helped. There's some orphans that need to be defended. There's some fatherless that needs to be fathered. There's some widows that need to be protected. There's an obligation that has to be established first before we receive them gold crowns. And the opportunity to gain the gold crown is right in front of us on a daily basis. Because you know what's not leaving? The poor. You know what's not ever gonna be a lack of? Hungry people, sick folk, lame people, handicapped people, people in need. That's never gonna go away. There's always gonna be a need for that. People that need protection, that need guidance, that need assistance, that need counsel, that need advice, that need a person right next to them to assist them. No different than you have a person that's handicapped that has a caregiver pushing them in a wheelchair, or support them, or a blind person has a partner, a guide, exactly. That's never going to go away. So with that handicap that each one of us have, and our people, especially our people, possess, we have an opportunity to be looked at as number one in the eyes of the Father. He said, "You shall receive the first place in my resurrection." Meaning there's something special that's established for those that have this type of mentality already. That's where the blessing is at, okay? So then, now we're going to get into a little bit of how charity is given. Charity is given at your capacity. The Most High has given every single person the ability to give. There's no one that can say, I can't do nothing for nobody. I can barely take care of myself. We like to use that excuse. We love to use that excuse. I can barely take care of myself. I can't do nothing for you, man. We know that song too. I can't do nothing for you, man. You need $10 for what? I can't do nothing for you, man. Man, kiss my, you know what I'm saying? That's for the old heads in there, from that old school hip hop. Flavor Flav, yeah. Can't do nothing for you, man. Yeah, you know, Flavor, he was raw with it. But it showed, we know that became a hit. That became a ghetto proverb. I can't do nothing for you, man. Now we took on Flavor's mentality. Flavor Flav's mentality will get you nowhere with the Father.
Or even Heavy D.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's what we're supposed to have.
Yeah, but he didn't really have love for you because he was like, I don't have nothing financial for you. I can't help you that way. All I can do is claim.
Or something physical.
Yeah, you know.
But you know what? At least he had a mentality to show love. The capacity to give love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I give him that. Yeah. I give him that. You know? But the Flames, I can't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? At least Heavy D has something to offer. I'm just joking. Let's go to Mark chapter 12, verse 41. I'm just playing.
I know you like Flavor Flav.
Yeah, you know, hey, man, public enemy.
No, not Flavor Flav. Heavy D better than.
That was both, man. They have their purposes.
Yeah.
They both have their purposes. Yeah. Now we're looking at charity in a sense of it's based upon what you have to give. Charity is giving at your capacity. That's what it's about. It's about giving according to your ability. So that there's really no reason to say that I can't do nothing for you. So let's use an example of that. Let's go to Mark chapter 12, verse 41.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus sat over against the treasury.
Go ahead.
And beheld how the people cast money into the treasury.
So you know what Christ was checking out? Christ was checking out how people and how much people were giving. So the treasury is where the church was collecting the tithes. And the tithes are the free will offering. Well, tithes is the 10%, and the alms is the free will offering, what you choose to give. So what Christ was doing was looking at each individual and actually checking out how much are you giving? What are you giving? Go ahead.
And many that were rich cast in much.
So of course it looked good for the rich to give a lot because they had it like that. Because if I'm rich, meaning I have an abundance of something. And if I have an abundance of something, then if I give a lot, it don't really affect me because I have an abundance. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to set me back in. It's not going to put me in danger. It's water off a duck's back. No big deal. You know, so for anybody that does have it to give and they give a lot, is that look good in the eyes of the Father? Read on.
And there came a certain woman, a certain poor widow.
Go ahead.
And she threw in 2 mites.
And so she threw in what?
2 mites.
Now, a mite is a quarter of a penny. In today's currency, if you do the exchange rate from that time to now, A mite is a quarter of a penny. It would be the value if you take a penny and cut it in fours.
Wow.
It would be a quarter of a penny. So she threw in two of those. 2/4 of a penny. Go ahead.
2 mites, which make a farthing.
Which makes a half a penny. 2/4 make a half. So the value today would be a half a penny. They don't even make half a penny.
Like, where they do that?
Where they do that at, right? That's a wooden nickel, right? Yeah.
A nickel with a hole in it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was showing what Christ was showing was he called his disciples over to let them see something. He wanted them to see something. He saw the rich casting in a lot. He saw this poor woman that doesn't have much giving half a penny in total value. Read.
And he called unto him his disciples, and saith unto them, Verily I say unto you.
So they both gave something, right? The wealthy and the poor woman, they both gave according to their capacity. They both gave according to what they had the ability to give. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury.
Now Christ used this opportunity to teach a lesson. He said this poor woman that only gave in today's monetary system would be a half a penny. She gave more than all the accumulated abundance of all the wealthy put together that they put in the treasury. Why is that? Read.
For all they did cast in of their abundance.
It didn't affect them. It didn't affect them at all. You know what? It didn't require any loss or any faith. You know, I gave much, but I really didn't lose. It didn't really, it didn't mean much to me. Go ahead.
But she of her want did cast in all that she had.
She of her what?
All that she had.
She
She
based
cast
upon her want.
Right. Based upon her want.
She of her want. Go ahead.
She did cast in all that she had.
Go ahead.
Even all her living.
Even what?
All her living.
So that's all that this woman possessed. She gave to the utmost of her capacity. It was in a sense, okay, yeah, two mites don't really look at compared to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if this is all you got, it means more to the Father than what you give that's extra. Or that's what you give that's in abundance. So every person has the ability to give something and show some form of charity at their particular capacity. So it doesn't mean that more is better. It means, is this all you have to give, and are you still offering that? And this is what made this woman such a standout in the eyes of Christ and the Most High. Because she didn't have much to offer, but she still chose to do it. And I like what it says in another chapter on this same situation and the same situation on this parable. I like what it says in Luke. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Because it's the same parable in Luke, but I like there's something a little different here that I want to bring out right here. Luke chapter 21, verse 4. Start at verse 1.
Luke chapter 21, verse 1. And he looked up and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury.
Go ahead.
And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites.
Go ahead.
And he said, Of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow,
He says, of a truth I say unto you, this poor widow, go ahead.
hath cast in more than they all.
Go ahead.
For all these have of their abundance cast in unto the offerings of the Most High.
Go ahead.
But she of her penury,
Of her what?
penury,
I like what it means right here. I like the definition of this word. You know, in Matthew it said that she cast in all of her want, or in Mark it said all of her want. In Luke it says all of her penury. When you look at the definition of penury, penury is scarcity. That means that when a situation is scarce, that means that it doesn't come that often. It's very far and few between. So not only was these 2 mites very important to her because that's all she had, those 2 mites was all she had for a while. Those 2 mites were even hard to come by. So it was even hard. It meant more than just even the 2 mites in value. Meaning this woman might not get another 2 mites for who knows how long. That she doesn't get 2 mites that often. It might sound like it's not a lot, but it means more because she can't recover that so soon. That would be hard to recover. It would be hard to get back. A wealthy man throw money out there in abundance, it ain't hard for him to get that back. It's nothing, he can get that back easily. But look at the level of faith that it takes to really show true charity. Look at the level of faith that it shows that we have to operate in to really stand out in the eyes of the Father. So everybody can give at their capacity. And more isn't always better. But the Most High is looking at the same thing today. Looking at, do you have the ability and do you choose to do it or you choose to retain it? And does it mean something to you or does it not? You know, you donating clothes to Salvation Army or Goodwill. Why is that? Because you got a overabundance of clothes in the closet. You have an overabundance of shoes in the closet. Really, you was gonna get rid of it anyway. You're gonna throw it out anyway. Either it was old, the style changed. Hey, ain't nobody.
You clean it up. It's a mess. You screen clean.
Ain't nobody wearing cross colors no more.
Right.
Ain't nobody wearing Jinko jeans. Ain't nobody wearing baggy jeans. The baggy jean era, that's over.
I ain't gonna wear no skinny.
Hey, you know, but for those that we wear fitted, or we wear fitted, but if you get caught wearing I'm talking about the Jinko jeans from back in the day. That was that was just flared. They was flared all the way out, and they came from the top all the way down to the ankle. They were flared out. They're like 2 people could fit in one pair of pants. That era is over. So if you was gonna get rid of that anyway, that really wasn't out of your penury. That wasn't out of your scarcity. You wasn't doing nothing with that anyway. But we think that we adopt today's mentality of what charity is. We think because, oh man, I cleaned out my closet and I gave these clothes, I'm a good citizen. I'm in good standings with the Father. You couldn't fit them shoes no more. Them was 8th grade shoes. Them shoes were too tight. Them was 8th grade clothes. You can't wear them clothes no more. You can't fit that. No, you say, well, I'd rather give it away than throw it away. That don't mean nothing to the Father. It didn't mean nothing to you. So was it really charity if it didn't mean nothing to you? It wasn't out of your penury. Now, if you ain't got much and you still choose to offer it, that's when it means something to the Father. Are we clear with that? All right. So it says out of her penury or out of her scarcity. Go ahead. Verse 4.
For all these have of their abundance, but she of her penury have cast in all the living that she had.
So she cast in all the living that she had. So if you have the ability to give according to what you have, even if it's limited, the Most High will still honor that. That's still considered charity. It's better that way to the Father because it means more to you. So giving something away that don't mean nothing to you is not charity. All right. So let's go to another definition of this is Tobit chapter 4. Not definition, but more examples in the same topic right here, charity, and what it means to the Father. Let's go to Tobit chapter 4, and let's go to verse 7.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 7.
Everyone got it?
I got it.
Let's read that.
Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 7. Give alms of thy substance.
Give what?
Give alms of thy substance.
That alms is a free will offering. That's extra. That's to go above and beyond what's required of the Father. Now, when you read the scriptures, the Most High requires tithes. Tithes actually means tenth. So, a tenth of everything that you bring in, the Most High requires that to be given to the priest as an offering. But alms is what you give that goes above and beyond just the tithe. It's more than just the tithe. It's more than just what's required by the Father. So he says, read it again.
Tobit, chapter 4, verse 7. Give alms of thy substance.
So if you okay, you got a definition? Read that definition right there.
It says, definition for alms is anything given gratuitously.
Gratuity is free.
To relieve the poor as money, food, or clothing, otherwise called charity.
Otherwise called what?
Charity.
It's read it one more time.
Anything given gratuitously.
Gratuitously, meaning, you know what? It was gratuitous. It was gracious. It was free. It was free. You know what? We think gratuity be like a tip. But you know what? We give tips based upon how good the service was. So really it wasn't free, was it? We be like, sitting at the table looking at the ticket on the bill, and we be like, before we just say, let me just give this person some money for their job, we look at how long did it take for them to get to my table with the water. They let my ice melt. They took too long to bring my food out. My food got cold.
Condition.
Yeah, it's the condition. They didn't smile when they handed me my food. They didn't check on me like they checked on other tables. $2. Here, $80 bill. $2. Yeah, so even in that, it wasn't free. Because you know what we had to do? We had to think about it. We had to think about it hard too. They had to earn that. But alms is free, man. It's, you know what? You ain't got to earn. You don't have to earn this. I want to give it to you because I know you need it. You don't got to do something for me first. You don't have to prove to me first before I give you something that you need. I want to do this for you. It's in my nature to want to do this. It's in my disposition, in my heart, to want to see you need, to support you for what you need. Go ahead.
Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious.
Man, you got more than I got. Why should I give you that? You got more than I do. No, but you know what? If you see the need, give it. Don't worry about who got more, who got less. If they need it, give it. Read. Well, ain't nobody give to me when I need. Nobody was there for me when I was down and out. Why should I be there for you? Why should I do right by you? You wasn't there for me. Nobody called me when I was down. Nobody called me when I was low. Now it's about envy now. Now I don't have the ability to do it because I'm too comparative now. So, and I'm looking at my situation when I was in need. Read.
Neither turn thy face from any poor.
Go ahead.
And the face of the Most High.
And the what?
And the face of the Most High.
And the face of the Most High. Go ahead.
Shall not be turned away from thee.
So, think about this. Does this person have to prove to me that they deserve my charity or my own? Or should it be automatic? And if it's automatic, then it will be automatic for the Most High to be there when I need. This is how I get in good standings with the Father. This is how I can guarantee that anytime that I'm down and out or need or lacking something, that the Most High will always pay attention to my needs. It's based upon how we feel the need, of someone else that's in need. It says, in the face of the Most High
shall not be turned away from thee.
Go ahead.
If thou hast abundance,
And we just read about the lady that had 2 mites in Luke and Mark. Go ahead.
give alms accordingly.
It says give alms what?
Accordingly.
Meaning, you know what? Everybody has something to offer. So it's according to what you have. Read.
If thou have but a little,
It says, and if you don't have much, if you got a lot, then you give accordingly. And if you don't have a lot, it says, if you have a little, read.
be not afraid.
Be not what?
Afraid.
So did that woman that we read about in Luke and in Mark, was she afraid to give her last 2 mites? Her last 2 half pennies? No. That's how the Most High is determining your charity. Are you afraid to do it? Are you afraid to give? Are you afraid to lend? Are you afraid to help? It says, be not afraid, go ahead.
To give according to that little.
According to what?
To that little.
So does everybody have something to offer?
Yes.
Yes. No one should have the ability to say, man, I ain't got nothing for you. Yes, we all got something that we can offer, even if it's a little bit. A lot of times that's when we get the tightest. A lot of times that's when we get the most scrutinous. That's when we get the most like, I'm not sure, man. It's my last $10. That's when you hit at the most. It's my last 20. It's my last 50. It's my last 100. I gotta make this 100 stretch through the month. I gotta make this 10 last for the week. As if $10 ever lasted you a week.
What about self-preservation?
Say it again.
What about self-preservation?
They say self-preservation in the world, they say self-preservation is the first law of nature, right? The first law of nature is self-preservation, right? That's the same. But what the Most High is saying is, if you give accordingly, even if you got a little, the Most High will be there to support you. Is this true? Can we prove this?
Yes.
Let's go to Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. Let's start at verse 2.
Ecclesiastes, in the Apocrypha, chapter 12.
It's on page 77.
Chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm. Everybody got it? Read that.
Do good to the godly man.
He said what?
Do good to the godly man.
He said do what?
Do good to the godly man.
And you're going to be defrauded.
Do good to the godly man.
You're going to be left hanging.
Do good to the godly man.
He's not going to recompense you.
Do good to the godly man.
You put yourself in danger.
Do good to the godly man.
You got to make sure you protect yourself.
Do good to the godly man.
Make sure you got enough.
Do good to the godly man.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt find a recompense.
And you shall find a what?
A recompense.
A recompense is a reward or payback. So he says, do good to the godly man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt find a recompense.
You will get rewarded or you will get paid back. Read.
And if not from him,
And if this godly man can't pay you back or reward you back, read on.
yet from the Most High.
Who will support you in your losses?
The Most High.
Who will support you for giving all that you had?
The Most High.
Who will support you in your penury?
The Most High.
Who will support you when in your little alms that you have to offer?
The Most High.
So do we understand that it's a win-win situation? That means that if I'm giving charity and alms, I can never lose. If I'm giving alms and charity to a godly man, I cannot lose. I cannot be defrauded. It's impossible. Because even if the godly man doesn't have it at the time to pay me back, the Most High will support the debt of that godly man. He'll recompense the debt of that person that I extended myself for. So do you really lose? Not at all. And when the Most High pay you back, it's going to be more than what that person owed you anyway. And it's going to be 10 times the blessing anyway. So we know how the Most High feels about giving and charity. The question is, don't be afraid. Are you afraid to do it? Are you afraid to do it one another? Because that's what we have to look at. The scripture we just read said, "Be not afraid." Yes.
How about receiving from someone who is,
The scripture says it's better to give than what?
well, I mean, from someone who is trying to give those alms?
Let them give it. If you need it. If you need it, let them give it. If you know, a lot of times you stun a person's blessing if you refuse that offering. If you know you need it and you refuse it, you stun that person's blessing. Say it again.
Yeah, modesty, like, you know, because he can give it, but you know this person's situation too is, you know, just as bad, not bad as yours, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you like, nah, man, just go ahead and keep that for yourself, you know.
I'll make it.
Yeah.
But you know what that person was doing? That person was putting themselves in a position to even be blessed by the Father, if that person's a godly person. If that man is a godly man or a godly woman, they're putting themselves in a position to get a blessing by the Father. Give me this verse right here. It's let me find it real quick. Matthew chapter 10, verse 42. Say it again. It is a sacrifice. 10, 42. Mm-hmm. Verse 41.
Matthew 10 and verse 41.
Read that 40.
Matthew 10 and verse 40.
Go ahead.
He that receiveth you.
So Christ said this. Yeah, what about receiving? What about giving to somebody? He said, if a person receive you, go ahead.
Receiveth me.
So if I'm offering and a person receives it, then they're also allowing a relationship to be established with the Most High Christ also. He said, if they receive you, they receive me. Go ahead. So if they take it from you, it's like taking it from Christ. It's like if I'm the one that the Most High is using as the instrument to be the one to fill the need of that person, then it's just like the Most High of Christ giving it to me. He says, if they receive you, they receive me. So instead of being modest and saying, "No, I don't need it," that'd be like turning Christ down and saying, "No, I don't need it." The Most High put that person there. Christ put it in that person's heart to want to give it. So why refuse it? He said, "He that receiveth you, receiveth me." Read on.
And he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me.
He says, and he also receives not just from you, he get it from me, and it's like taking it from the Father, or receiving it from the Father. Read.
He that receiveth the prophet,
and he that receiveth the what?
A prophet.
So if a man is a prophet, a teacher, go ahead.
In the name of a prophet.
So if I believe that, okay, you know what? I believe that this person is a godly man. Because we just read in Ecclesiastes, give to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, then the Most High. So if I believe that this man is a godly man, this man is sent by the Father, go ahead. He said, he that what? Read that part again.
He that receiveth the prophet in the name of a prophet.
Because I believe in what they're saying, that this person is sent by the Most High. Go ahead.
Shall receive a prophet's reward.
And they get a prophet's reward. And we know that the Most High said that if you give to a godly man, and even if he can't pay you back, the Most High will pay you back. So you still will get a reward that the Most High will compensate you for. Read.
And he that receiveth in a righteous man.
He said, he that what?
And he that receiveth a righteous man.
And just like we read in Ecclesiastes, if I give to a godly man, so if I receive a righteous man, go ahead.
In the name of a righteous man.
Go ahead.
Shall receive a righteous man's reward.
So the Most High will still support that righteous man. He'll still support that prophet. So you can't lose, giving or receiving, especially receiving it from a righteous man or a prophet. Go ahead.
And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones.
And as far as giving, when it comes to the little, who's the little ones? The little ones are the ones that are without the help, the ones that need the most. He said they're the little ones. They're the ones that are not so capable of taking care of themselves. Go ahead.
A cup of cold water,
Go ahead.
only in the name of a disciple.
And if this little one, which is this new member in Christ, this new member in the faith, this younger person in the spirit, if I choose to do good, show charity, and receive charity even from them, go ahead.
In the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
So it's showing that if I have the ability to either receive or to give to a prophet, a godly man, a righteous man, or a student of Christ, I cannot lose. So it doesn't matter the capacity of that particular person, whether he's new, he's young, whether he barely got it, whether he's a seasoned veteran, or whether he's a prophet and a teacher and a scholar of the Most High. I cannot lose. The Most High will support and back and recompense those particular individuals. So anybody within this realm, you can receive a blessing from. We have the opportunity to be blessed by the Most High by looking after the needs of anybody in this realm, even if it's a student. Whether it's a prophet, a student, or a righteous man, doesn't matter. The Most High will recompense those particular individuals. So giving and receiving, they should go hand in hand with those particular individuals. All right? Let's go back to Tobit, chapter 7, verse 8. No, I'm sorry, Tobit chapter 4, verse 8.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly.
Go ahead.
If thou have but a little,
Go ahead.
be not afraid to give according to that little.
Be not what?
Afraid to give according to that little.
So we shouldn't be so having these reservations when it comes to giving the small amounts that we have, the little bit of change that we got. Because we already just showed in Mark and Luke how even the smallest denomination, if it's based upon all that you have and it has some type of value to you and it's a need and you still choose to give it, that counts to the Most High more than what somebody that has abundance has to offer. He says, don't be afraid. Go ahead.
For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity.
So when I have the ability to give to those that have need, even if I have a small amount and I'm kind of afraid to give it, if I choose to open up, if I choose to be charitable and to offer even the little I have, I just stored up a treasure in heaven so that the Most High, the minute I need something, the minute I'm short, the minute I'm down on my luck, the minute I'm down and out, I don't have enough, the Most High will put the spirit in someone to supply that need. Read.
Because that alms do deliver from death.
So, my charity goes further than just giving to somebody in this realm. My charity actually adds points and it adds acknowledgement with the Father in heaven. The Most High is taking notice of my charity that I do one with another, that I perform with my fellow man. The Most High is counting and storing up and keeping a tally. And he's keeping a log of your charity. And at the time that when there was a situation where you could have died and you was down and out and you was in a desperate situation, the Most High will look at your alms to decide, should I deliver this man from death? Should I pull this man out of the situation? Should I pull this woman out of the situation? Let me check their account balance of alms. Let me check their credit. Let me see what they're working with. And if you got enough alms stacked up, let them live. You got enough alms stacked up, go ahead and feed them. You got enough alms stacked up, go ahead and get that rent paid. Go ahead and make sure that rent get paid. Go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get blessed. Go ahead and find $1,000 on the ground as you was walking to work. Whatever, however the Most High chooses to do it. Put the spirit in somebody to come through for that person. To just be I want to bless you. And you know that directly came from the Father. Because when the time that someone needed you, the time that you chose to say either, man, I don't really have it to give, it's not in my power, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The Most High will look at you the same way. When you need, you know what? You gave, even though you didn't really have the ability. I'm gonna go ahead and hook you up and make sure you get taken care of. Because I saw how you dealt with your brother. It was recorded. He said, you store up a treasure in heaven. Really?
Because that alms do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness.
Go ahead.
For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High.
Read verse 11 again.
For alms is a good gift.
Alms is a form of charity. It's what you do to go above and beyond just giving tithes. It says alms is a good gift. That what?
Unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High.
So the Most High enjoys and he loves to see a person with the ability to give themselves for the needs and fill the needs of someone else.
Right.
That's always pleasurable. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it says in sight also, right. Meaning you think about the Most High seeing it and not doing it in front of everybody else. Like,
right.
Give the charity, slide it in a purse, or you know what I mean, not in front of, like, so that you're seen by men. So that's what I get out of it when I see in the sight of the Most High, meaning that you're doing it for the acceptable or the pleasure of the Most High.
Right, you're doing it so that the Most High can see, not to be acknowledged by man, but you're doing it so that the Most High can take account of it. I'm doing this because I know the Most High is watching. So this means I'm doing it for this person, but I know the Most High is keeping the law. He's recording it. The Most High is storing this. This is my opportunity to gain treasures in heaven. So let me not abuse that. Waste that opportunity. Yeah, I know. Matthew 6, great point. Let's go real quick to Deuteronomy chapter 6. I like what you're saying, but let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16. Verse 17. Straight to the point. Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 17. Every man.
Hold on, everybody get it. Everybody got it? Read that.
Every man shall give as he is able.
Every man shall give according to what?
As he is able.
So does the Most High know what you're capable of giving? Yes. Does he know your ability? Yes. But we say sometimes, man, I'm not able to give. But if you are, you should. If you have the ability, you should. And that ability to give or to share yourself with your brother is based upon what? Read on.
According to the blessing.
According to what?
The blessing.
Go ahead.
Of the Lord thy God.
So then our ability to give should be determined based upon how the Most High has done what for us. Blessed us. So if I don't feel like God has blessed me, if I don't feel like God has been taking care of me, if I don't feel like God has been looking out for me, then how will I be as a giver? Say again. I'm not going to look out for people. I'm gonna be more in the mind frame of I gotta take care of myself. I'm gonna be in the mind frame of I gotta look out for numero uno.
L1000.
Yeah, it's numero uno. It's me, myself, and I. I gotta make sure I'm taken care of. But if you understand how, and if you can recognize, and if you have a consciousness of the multitude of blessings that the Heavenly Father has bestowed upon us, guess how I'll be as a giver? Very cheerful. Very charitable. I'll be very giving. Because you know what I understand? That the Most High has been blessing me with ultimate blessings. I can acknowledge the multitude of blessings that the Most High has came through for me with. So I know exactly that this is nothing for me to give, because I know that my Father will give it right back to me. But if we have a consciousness of and an awareness of how the Heavenly Father has been taking care of us, how He's been looking out for us, how He's been making sure that we're okay, that we're taken care of, we're fine, we're groomed, we're nourished, like an orphan, like a nurse to a baby, then it should be nothing for me to give. But for those that cannot recognize the blessings of the Lord, they will not also recognize that I have the ability to give. They won't be able to recognize when they have the ability to give. Because they're going to operate in the mind frame of, you know what? Nah, it's mine. I got to hold on to this. This is like Schmeagol. It's precious. This is precious. This is my little precious. I can't let this go, man. It's precious to me. But if I can acknowledge how the Most High has been blessing me through all the things that I've asked for, or even that I didn't ask for, and how the Most High has come through for me when I didn't know how I was going to be taken care of, and He made situations work in my favor that normally should have been against me, then I'll also give in that same capacity. That's the beauty of recognizing how much of a father the Most High has been towards us. All right? So giving should be based upon our ability. Christ speaks of this as well. Let's go to Matthew, sir. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter 25 verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods.
His goods. Go ahead.
And unto one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1.
Go ahead.
To every man according to his several ability.
So, does not the Most High know exactly what we're capable of giving? Who hinders that capability? We do. We're the ones that try to determine, nah, I don't got it. But the Most High know we got it. We're the ones that try to limit, man, I can't come through. I'm too busy. I'm too occupied. I'm not free enough. I don't have it. I'm short. We're the ones that try to put limitations on our ability to give. But it's the Most High that knows, man, I gave you enough to give. I gave you a sufficient amount to be a help to come through to somebody else. He said, according to every man's what?
Every man to his several abilities.
Did the Most High say He gave no man no ability? No, everybody has an ability. So even when it comes to charity, every man has an ability. Some might have more than others. Some might have just a little bit of ability. But when it comes down to it, everybody has an ability. It might be small, it might be 2 mites, or it might be in abundance. But everybody has an ability. And that's how we got to look at it as well. We have to understand that even if I don't have much, I still have an ability. There's still something that I can come through and assist and help my fellow man for, and help my fellow man with. Everybody has that ability. Let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 48.
Luke chapter 12, verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother?
Luke chapter 12, verse 48.
Luke chapter 12, verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
Go ahead.
For unto whomsoever
This is what I want to focus on. It says, for unto whomsoever. Go ahead.
much is given,
So if the Most High has blessed you abundantly and a lot of abilities, guess what the Most High also understands? You have it to give. He says, for unto whom so much. Go ahead.
for unto whomsoever much is given,
Go ahead.
and of him shall be much required.
So if the Most High has blessed you abundantly throughout the year, guess how the Most High is looking at as a giver, and as when it comes to charity, how is he looking at your capacity throughout the year? Man, the Most High know, man, I gave you a lot. I blessed you with many abilities. So he's expecting that same ability, that same quantifiable ability to be given to somebody else. Yes, sir.
If I can, one thing is, when I like in the scripture here, it didn't say unto whomsoever much received. It says to who he gave it to.
Right.
Now, whether the person chooses to, whether the person chooses to receive it or not, is not the point.
Right.
The Most High still gave it. Now, whether you sit there and be like, you know, like, you want to give somebody something like, yeah, don't receive it, don't receive it. I'm gonna give it to you, don't receive it. Like, you know, like the last piece of trash, like if you touch the last piece of trash, you're the one that throw it away.
Yeah.
So everybody be like, try give it to me, try give it to me. Give it to me. And we and finally be like,
That's on you.
right, you trust it. It's still given to you. And this is what we got to say on the Most High. We think that, well, if I don't receive it, if I don't take it, if I'm not around, then I'm not going to be held responsible for it. But the scripture says what? The Most High gave it. And that's why he told us what? And we know this is proper because he said what?
Whomsoever.
Hold on. He said, choose you this day. Did you choose to receive what he was given? Or were you on this like, nope, I think if I don't touch it, I am responsible for it. If your kids go to school, since school just started, and the teacher's giving the assignments, but your kid says, nope, I didn't get the assignment. What's still due at the end of the year? Now, what's due at the end of the week? There's still a test. You're still responsible for what the teacher gave out. Now, whether you took it home and studied it, received it, got it, so that you can be ready for the test, whose fault or whose problem is that? That's your problem. You chose not to receive what he was given. That's your problem, but he still gave it. And I'm so glad school's in session right now. Teachers giving homework. They give opportunity for tutoring. They give opportunity for if you need extra help, you come in the morning. You come at lunch. There's all types of groups. There's websites. There's internet. There's all types of things you can do so that you can receive and take advantage of what the teacher's giving out. That's in school. What you think the Most High is doing with your life? But you want to say, well, I didn't get that, so I'm not responsible for it. If we read it one more time from the top,
No.
Say chop.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 48. But he that knew not did commit these. Oh, wait a minute.
From the top, from the top. 48.
Luke. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
I like this also. I'm getting out of this. I'm about to go to back. But he says, so let's say you don't know. Let's say you didn't get it. What still will happen to you? There's still stripes. There's still ass whoopings being given to everybody. Everybody's still getting beat for something. So take this, you know, like the kids, like that kids do. I don't know. Or just get real quiet. and trying to frustrate the teacher, wait for the teacher to move on and call somebody else. Most High got all, Most High, the song, time is on his side. Yes, it is. So you can still try to be quiet all you want to, but guess you still gonna be responsible for what you didn't get. You still got to, if you didn't take advantage of what the Most High was giving out, that's still on you. You can't claim this, I didn't know, I wasn't there. We trying to play the three monkeys. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. I went in class, so I know you can't tell me no. No, I didn't call nobody. No. No. You still gotta ask for coming. If you have more to ask for coming. Finish it.
But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
Go ahead.
For unto whomsoever much is given.
So the Heavenly Father looks at what? How has He blessed you? How has He done for you? What situations have you been in where you needed more help than what you were able to do for yourself, or you needed the Most High to intercede for you, or you needed a blessing, or you needed someone to step in and help you with your situation, and the Most High provided that. And now when it comes to now me having to give it to somebody else and be there for somebody else, I act like, you know what, you gotta go figure out what you gotta do to work, make it work. Every man got to seek out his own soul salvation and fear trouble. That's what we want to use that verse. You got to figure it out for yourself. I had to figure it out for myself. You got to figure it out for yourself. But that's not how the Most High is looking at what He's given, what He's blessed us with. He says whatever He's, especially in abundance, for the multitude of things He's done for us, He's expecting what?
Of him shall be much required.
So if He's blessed me with an overabundance of blessings and help throughout my year, then He's also expecting you to be an overabundance of blessings and help to your fellow man. We can't say, well, the Most High was slim to me this year, so I'm going to be slim to you this year. Read.
And to whom men have committed much,
Go ahead.
of him they will ask the more.
So what is this showing right here? The Most High has blessed every one of us in particular arenas. And whatever arenas that He's blessed each and every one of us in and with, it's our responsibility and duty to be that same blessing in that same capacity for our fellow man or brother or sister. How do we know this? Go to Mark chapter 12, verse 28.
Mark chapter 12, verse 28.
Mark chapter 12, verse 28.
Mark chapter 12, verse 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all?
Yeah. He said, what's the first commandment? Now, these are who asking Christ this question. Now, these are scribes and Pharisees. They already know the law. They're doctors of the law. So that's asking a very elementary question. What's the first of the commandments? As if they don't know all of the commandments. They're the ones that persecute for not following the commandments. It's not like they don't understand the commandments. Read.
And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
So you know what Christ did? Christ gonna play the game with it. He played the game with it. Okay, you wanna know the first commandment? Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. Okay, they know that. He knows they know that. Go ahead.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Go ahead.
And with all thy soul.
Read.
And with all thy mind.
Go ahead.
And with all thy strength.
Go ahead.
This is the first commandment.
So Christ said, okay, if you didn't know, this is the first commandment. Read.
And the second is like. namely this,
He says, and this is the second most important commandment. Read.
thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
He says, and this commandment is just as potent and as powerful as the first commandment. He said the second is like unto it. So the second one holds just as much value and weight to the Most High. Thou shalt love thy what?
Neighbor as thyself.
So those two commandments are almost parallel in importance. Read.
There is none other commandment greater than these.
So these are the two greatest commandments. There's nothing more greater than these two commandments. Read on.
And the scribe said unto him, well, master, thou hast said the truth. For there is one God, and there is none other but he. And to love him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than all whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
So, did they not acknowledge what Christ just said? So did they not agree to, okay, yes, you spoke well, you spoke of a truth, to love the Most High with all your strength, power, and heart, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. You're correct. That is the two greatest commandments. But read on.
And when Jesus saw that he answered discreetly,
But he answered how?
discreetly,
What does that mean? Quietly. Meaning, he didn't want us to promote the fact that Christ was correct. He didn't want to acknowledge the fact that Christ was right. So he said they answered discreetly. They were real tentative and hesitant about the answer and giving him the fact that he spoke truth and credibility of truth. But what did Christ tell them?
he said unto him, thou art not far from the kingdom of the Most High.
He says, if you can understand this, you're not what?
Far from the kingdom of the Most High.
So if I can love my neighbor as myself, love the Most High with all my strength, my power, my heart, and my might, and I can love my neighbor as myself, Christ said, I am not far from where?
From the kingdom of the Most High.
He says, I'm not far from inheriting the kingdom of God. So he's showing us, if we want the first place in his resurrection, like he spoke of earlier, if we want to enter into the kingdom of the Most High, to receive the kingdom of the Most High, there are certain things that we have to do. We have to have the ability to love our neighbor as ourselves. We have to learn how to take care and be concerned with the needs of one another. As much as I think about myself, I have to be able to implant a brother or a sister in front of that, just as important as I look at myself. So if I make sure that I got what I need to function through the month, for the week, throughout the day, I should have that same capacity and ability to look after the next man the same way. If I can do that, Christ said, I'm not far from the kingdom of heaven. That's how we know we're on the right path, is when we develop that type of charity and that type of love for one another. We're on the true course that we will inherit the kingdom. Okay? So let's let that go. And let's go to James chapter 2, verse 8. And we're going to get into kind of like the measurements of charity. Let's go to James chapter 2, verse 8.
James chapter 2 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to the end, brother. James chapter 2 and verse 8. If you fulfill the royal law according to the scripture.
Now, I got a question. Where is the royal law? Is there a particular verse that says this is the royal law?
No, sir.
Is there a particular chapter? These are the royal laws. So what is he referring to? Is he referring to all the scriptures? He said this law is royal. Royal meaning what? It's chief. It's chief. It's very high. It's very heavy. It holds weight. It's of utmost importance. He says if you fulfill the royal law, you're not gonna go to the royal law, a chapter of royal law. You're not gonna go to the book of royal law. What is he talking about? Read on.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
What is the royal law?
Loving your neighbor.
To love, that is one of the greatest things that you can do. You will be judged also according to this ability. Did you love your neighbor as yourself? Because that is very high in regards to importance with the Father. Do you have the capability to look after your neighbor as you look after yourself? We will be judged by that. He says, if you fulfill the royal law, read on.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Ye do well. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin.
Go ahead.
And are convinced of the law as transgressors.
So if my charity is only based upon how I look at somebody, then that my charity now is based upon respect to persons. You know, if I'm looking at somebody that, okay, I know that this person can pay me back. This person has the capability of being to reward me back for what I have to offer. Then I'm choosing to pick and choose. Now I'm choosing and I'm deciding who I'm gonna be charitable to, versus having that type of mentality towards all my brothers, towards all my sisters. I mean, I have to learn how to be impartial when it comes to how I choose to offer my help and extend to everybody around me. We have that duty to one another. Read on.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law.
So I can keep all the commandments of the Most High. I can not eat pork, not eat shrimp. I can have the longest fringes. I can have the best garment. I can speak the best Hebrew. He says, but if I don't know how to love my neighbor as myself, if I can't get that straight, if I can't do that right, read on.
It said, and yet offend in one point.
Go ahead.
He is guilty of all.
So I'm guilty of not following the Bible at all.
That one point is
that one point is
that love.
Did you love your neighbor as yourself?
Right, and you're guilty of everything.
If you can't do that,
you might as well be guilty of everything.
You might as well be a murderer.
You might as well eat pork.
You might as well be a thief.
Yeah.
You might as well disobey and dishonor your mother and your father, not keep the Sabbath, covet thy neighbor's possession, commit adultery. You might as well do all of it. Because if you can't love your neighbor like yourself, you're guilty of not upholding none of the law. You see how much weight that holds with the Father? How important that is? That trumps all the commandments. Me loving my neighbor as myself. Me looking after the needs of other people as I do myself. To want for them as I want for myself. To be a help for them as I want help. To be that considerate, that thoughtful of other people, like I think about myself. If we have that ability, we're definitely on the right path and we're not far from the kingdom of the Most High. If we don't have that ability, we're guilty of not keeping none of the commandments. We understand that?
No.
Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 19, real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 19. And somebody else, we're going to pick it up a little bit. Somebody else give me Psalms 56 and 5. Psalms 56 and 5, Deuteronomy 16 and 19, and Psalms 56 and 5.
I got Psalms.
I got
Okay, let's get Deuteronomy first.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 19. Thou shalt not wrest judgment.
He said, thou shalt not what?
Wrest judgment.
You know what we like to do? We like to twist. To wrest judgment means to twist. We try to twist judgment. we try to rationalize what's right in the eyes of the Father and what's wrong in the eyes of the Father based on our ability to give. We try to say that person don't need it as much as I need it. We try to say that person is faking. We try to say, you know what? They asked me for it, but the Lord know I ain't got it. The Lord know I'm short. He know I ain't got it. We try to justify and twist up judgment. We try to take charity and base it upon what we see is right and wrong versus what is right and wrong. He said, thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not rest judgment.
So rest means to twist, like to wrestle. That's where the word wrestle comes from.
Right.
What are men doing when they wrestle with each other? They twisting each other up. They try to break each other and try to twist you up. I'm trying to get the advantage. I'm trying to get the upper hand. I'm twisting you up. He says, thou shalt not rest judgment. So when the Most High said, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. If you have the ability to give, then it's your responsibility to do what? Especially to the godly. But you know what we try to do? We know that's right because we read it's right. But we try to do this. We try to do that. Nah, man, I ain't got it. We try to find a loophole. And how often do we do this? Now give me Psalms. Who got Psalms?
56 and 5?
Yeah.
Psalms 56 and verse 5. 5?
Yes.
Yes. Every day.
He said what?
Every day.
What does he say?
It said every day.
How often?
Every day.
Every day, what do we do?
They rest. Rest with W.
They do what?
Rest.
So they take R-E-S-T. Every day we get some sleep.
W-R-E-S-T.
He says every single day, the Most High know that we like to do what?
Rest.
Rest what?
My words.
We like to do what?
Rest my words.
Every day, the Most High know that we be trying to do what with his words?
Twist them.
Twist them around. Every day we try to twist up judgment, and we try to justify and find a loophole into doing what's right. Instead of reading the Bible, understanding that, man, I owe my brother benevolence. I owe my brother love. I owe my brother charity. I owe my brother my concern. You know what we do? I ain't got it today. You know what we do? Man, I don't see why I got to do it. You know what we do? That's twisting the words of the Most High. We try to justify why not to do it. We try to make sense of it through ourselves to say, man, that ain't what the Most High mean when it says love thy neighbor as thyself. I still got to be wise in how I make sure that I keep my gas in my car to make sure I got enough gas to go for the rest of the week. I still got to be wise in that. We try to twist up the words all day long. This is something that the Most High knows about us. When it comes to judgment and dealing with one another righteously, he said we twist this up every day. We base charity based upon how tired we are. We know we owe it, but we'll base it upon, man, I ain't had no sleep in 2 days. So if I ain't had no rest in 2 days, I'm not gonna be no good for you. You might as well call somebody else. Because I need to catch up on my rest. My R-E-S-T. You know what? I've been at work all week. I ain't had no days off. So I can't come through for you. So we come up with excuses. And that's all that these are a bunch of excuses. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the question you had to figure out. Oh, I saw you used to finger like this. Oh, okay. So he said we twist his words every day. We look for an excuse or a way out or a reason why not to love our neighbor as ourselves. Man, I got to get some sleep. Man, it's late. You should have called me earlier. Man, it's after 9. Man, I got to get the kids. The kids are You should have called me, man. I told you didn't call me earlier. I would have did it if you would have called me earlier. You called me at the last minute, man. It's too late. I got too many things going on. My schedule is just swamped. I'm behind. I got to catch up in the house. How often do we shut one another down in charity based upon our own judgment? Yep. How often do we look for a loophole or twist up a reason or to create a reason why not to be there for one another? The most I notice about us, we love to twist up judgment. So let's go. So read that again, Kanat.
Psalms 56 and verse 5. Every day they rest my words.
So we find a way not to love one another, love our neighbors ourselves. Go ahead.
All their thoughts are against me for evil.
Man, that's how the Most High look at us. If we're gonna twist up His words, if we're gonna find a loophole and a reason why not to love one another, He said we look at the Most High as evil, man. We're looking at the Most High the wrong way. We ain't looking at the Most High correctly. The Most High has bestowed the ability for me to be there, even if it's in a small capacity. And even if I have the smallest ability to offer, to give, I'm still being judged by how much I even give that little, even if I've been blessed with little. But we'll still find a way not to, and a reason not to offer and not to give. We got the wrong perspective to the Father. That's why the Most High said, man, we twist this up, man. We got the wrong judgment. Go back to Deuteronomy 16, verse 19.
Deuteronomy 16, verse 19. Thou shalt not wrest judgment.
He says, but we shall not do what?
Wrest judgment.
We owe each other charity. We owe each other love. We owe each other benevolence. We owe each other the disposition to want to give automatically. We owe each other the ability to want to see good coming to my fellow brother or my fellow sister. Read.
Thou shalt not respect persons.
We shouldn't just do it for those that can bestow honor upon us or give us credit, or though only for those that we look up to or we have established relationships with.
Those that like agree with our
Purpose. Or those that agree with our opinions. Well, I'll give to this person because me and this person are good like that. We tight like that. But I ain't so tight with this person, so we ain't on that level yet. If this person is in the Word, if they're in the Scriptures, and they're in the camp, what you mean you ain't on that level yet? What you mean you don't know that person like that yet? He says, thou shalt not rest judgment, nor respect person. You gotta, it don't matter if you don't know that person, then it's your responsibility to get to know that person so y'all can be on that level. So y'all can be on that one-to-one basis to where we have a friendship to where we can come through for each other. Read.
Neither take a gift.
So, or take a gift, go ahead.
For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise.
Well, when I do for this person, they look out for me too. They got my back. So I got their back because they got my back. So now I'll only show charity for those that I perceive that have my back, instead of having that free will charity to all those that serve the Most High. All those godly, whether it's a disciple, whether it's a prophet, whether it's a teacher. Now we like to pick and choose who we have our charity and do our charity for.
But that's robbing the Most High. Because if you don't mind,
Yeah.
In Malachi 3 and verse 7 down, and I'm just gonna read it. All right. It said, even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from my ordinances. Ye have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye say, wherein shall we return? Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Will a man rob the Most High? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? He says, in tithes and offerings. He says, ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me. He said, watch this. Even this whole nation. Right? But it said this. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there might be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Right.
But how do we rob the Most High?
Break it down.
By not giving to the fellow man. By not giving tithes and offerings, it will be the same thing as saying alms and charity.
Right.
You know, it says the storehouse, so we meet in the house for everybody to eat.
Right.
But if a person hold back from giving and not giving to the fellow man, which is the body of
The needs of the
the
body.
needs of the body, then that's how you rob the Most High.
So, because truthfully, can we really rob the Most High?
Not him.
Not him personally.
Exactly.
But when we rob one another, and we choose not to give ourselves for the needs and for the sake of the body,
Pick and choose who to give.
right? We still, that's in essence what we read right here. We're robbing the Most High.
Right. But they say ye are cursed with a curse.
Right.
Well, you gonna get what you choose not to give, then no problem. But you're not gonna receive anything from the Most High neither. Matter of fact, you're gonna get cursed. But if you give all you had, like the example we got from that woman, then you're gonna get a blessing. And like the statement you said earlier, that even the Most High will give you back what you need, even more what you need. You said that to that brother right there. That's what he said. He will open the windows of heaven and
Right.
give you a blessing that you don't even know how to receive it because it's so
Right.
much.
It's too much to receive.
It's too much to receive.
Right.
It's because you didn't even have a second thought of giving to that
Right.
person.
It wasn't based
wasn't
upon, well, how does this person take care of me? Do they wax my palms when I need, or when I ask them for help, you know what I'm saying? Well, this person always helps me, so I'm gonna help that person, those people, or those individuals, and those individuals only.
Mhm.
Or do I have the ability to give it no matter what?
Yep.
So I like what you bring it up because it is part of robbing the Most High.
Yep.
But from that, you don't get blessed that way.
Exactly.
But and also let's go back to James. I want to finish where we was at in James chapter 2 and read verse 10 now.
James chapter 2 and verse 10.
Everybody got it? Not yet?
Nah. Yeah, I got you. You wrestling. That was bad. Did you see that James like one of the last books in the Hebrews, James, Hebrews. Before Hebrews, we did James. Or after Hebrews, should I say? Yep. James 2 and 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point.
So what is the one point that he's talking about that we can still be guilty of and be judged by and be considered wrong in the eyes of the Father?
The love for your neighbor, the charity.
Our charity, or our ability to love our neighbor as ourselves. So if we don't know, so what it's showing is this. Read on. I want to read on and get to this point. Read on.
For he that said, do not commit adultery.
Because the same one that said, do not commit adultery. Who's the one that said don't commit adultery? The Most High. Read.
Said also, do not kill.
So who said don't kill?
The Most High did.
The Most High. Go ahead.
Now, if thou commit no adultery,
Go ahead.
yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law.
So what he's showing is that if you do one without the other, you're still what?
A transgressor.
You're still guilty. So no matter how many laws you keep, if you're still short on one, you're still guilty of not following all. We understand that? Read on.
It says, right, so speak ye and so do.
It says, so speak ye and so do. Do what? Read.
As they that shall be judged.
As they that shall be judged by what?
By the law of liberty.
By the what?
By the law of liberty.
So what he's showing you is that there's more than just the 10 commandments that you'll be judged by.
By.
There's more than just thou shalt not kill. thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's, thou shalt not dishonor thy mother and thy father, thou shalt not keep thou shalt remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, thou shalt not have no other gods before me. There's more than we're being judged by than just fringes and pork sandwiches, ham and cheese, and shrimp, fried shrimp, and catfish fillet sandwiches. It's more than that. It's not just about the dietary, the civil, the moral. Yes.
Yeah, I just got a scripture on that statement too.
Go ahead.
I got to.
Go ahead.
So Malachi again, 2 and verse 9. And you're gonna break it down yourself. I don't have to break it down. 2, 9 and 10. Malachi 2 and 9 and 10. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people.
He says contemptible is to be disgusted, and base to be very low in moral. Go ahead.
Right. According as ye have not kept my ways.
He says based upon how, he says, so the way that I'm going to make you look in public is based upon how you have not kept my ways. Go ahead.
But have been partial in the law. It says, how? Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously, right? Every man against his brother.
So then he's saying, how are we contemptible in the eyes of the Father? How do we look base, which is to be very low in morals, very disgusting in the eyes of the Father? And how we dealt treacherously with what? Every man his brother.
Yep.
So now, there's more laws. I like this point. I love that what you brought out. There's more than just the commandments, keeping my head wrapped, and me wearing fringes, and me teaching on the corner, and me honoring the Sabbath, and me speaking Hebrew. I'm being judged by more than that.
Yep.
But read on where we at in James. Verse 12.
Yep. James 2 and verse 12. It says, so speak ye, and so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty.
By the law of what?
Liberty.
By the law of liberty, meaning what? Free to in charity. Do I choose to offer myself for the needs of others while I have the opportunity? You know what that's called in order to do that? To give yourself for free. And you're doing it for free out of the heart. Read on. It's going to tell you what it is.
For he shall have judgment without mercy.
Go ahead.
That hath showed no mercy.
So what is charity?
It showed mercy.
It's showing what?
Mercy.
What is charity?
Show mercy.
It's showing what?
Mercy.
Your charity dictates and determines how great your mercy is. So if you don't have no charity, you also don't have no what?
Mercy.
You also don't have no mercy. That means you don't have no pity. You can't empathize with anybody. That means you don't feel sorry when other people are low. That means you don't feel guilty to watch other people in need. That means it doesn't bother you to watch other people suffer or lack. So a person's charity also denotes their mercy.
Yeah.
So let's read that last verse again.
James 2 and verse 13. For he shall have judgment.
So the Most High is going to look at you and judge you with no mercy. Because what?
It says, without mercy.
He ain't going to show no mercy in his judgment towards you. Because you had no what?
That has shown no mercy.
And mercy is what? Your charity. That is an opportunity for you to show mercy. So the Most High is looking at you the same way. Okay, I was expecting you to have charity because your brother had need. And you chose not to show it. So you ain't got no mercy.
Yep.
So because you don't have no mercy, and now when you need, I'm not gonna have no mercy on you.
Because you dealt treacherously with
Because you didn't have no mercy on your brother.
Yep.
Your charity is a reflection of your mercy. You ain't got no charity, you ain't got no mercy. But if you ain't got no mercy, Most High ain't having no mercy on you. That's what this verse is saying. Read.
It says, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
And mercy will save you against what? Judgment. From being punished. So just like if we read in Tobit where it says alms doth deliver from death, so does mercy. Your mercy also delivers from death. And your mercy is based upon your charity. How much compassion can you show to your fellow man when he has need? That's how the Most High will equate judgment towards your needs. You get what you give.
Mm-hmm. You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow.
That's it.
So if you can't give it, the Most High can't give it. You can't get it. So if you turn a blind eye to the needs of a brother or sister, the Most High gonna turn a blind eye to your needs. You understand this? Go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 7.
Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that shall be saved.
Second Ezra in the Apocrypha. We got page, so tell them what page it is.
25.
25? Okay, yeah, different. Second Ezra chapter, it's on page 25. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 7.
And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works.
So if I'm going to be saved by the Most High, it's going to be based upon my what?
Your works.
Your works. So your salvation is based upon what? Your works. How much did you come through for the needs of your brother? How much did you have a good disposition and a good will and a mind frame to want to help and fill the needs of your fellow man? How much mercy did you show when somebody was down? That's how the Most High will look at us. That's how He's going to save us. He's going to be saved by our works. Go ahead.
And by faith.
And by what?
By faith.
Because it takes faith to even give the little that you got. It takes faith to even do that. It takes faith to believe that if I do good, even though I have little, and I don't have much to offer, but I choose to offer it anyway, the Most High is going to take care of me. That takes faith to do that. It takes faith to show charity. Because I believe that the Most High is going to bring it back to me. So that takes faith. Read.
Whereby ye have believed.
Go ahead.
Shall be preserved from the said peril.
And so anytime that you get into danger, or danger is brought to you, the Most High will preserve you. And it was based upon your faith and your works in charity and in mercy. Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. And they that have loathed my law.
And those that have thought or twisted the Most High's words, because the scriptures say we twist the Most High's words daily, and we twist judgment up. We hate the laws of the Most High and what we're accountable for. Read.
While they had yet liberty.
While we had liberty, that liberty was that ability. That opportunity to do what? To show mercy. To show mercy and to show charity. So the time that we have right now, that the Most High has given us with one another, this is liberty from the Most High. This is mercy from the Most High. This is an opportunity from the Most High to demonstrate charity one with another. This is the opportunity. The time is now. He said, but those that didn't take advantage of that time that He's given for us to demonstrate charity and love, go ahead.
And when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them.
And because this is what you can do now to wipe away your sins. And also for the Most High to not pass judgment against you. Go ahead.
Understood not.
They didn't what?
Understood not.
So every day that I look at my brother and I look at my sister, I didn't understand that their needs, me filling their needs and compensating their needs, was attributed to the Most High giving me time to be saved from my own danger. I didn't understand that. So every day I looked at this person and didn't understand that this other person and their needs is the key to my salvation. I didn't see it. I just thought I saw a person that was always complaining. I just thought I was looking at a person that always was short, that always needed help, that was always looking for something. I thought I was just looking at somebody that was struggling like I'm struggling. That person wasn't just a person that's struggling like you're struggling. That person is a person that you have the opportunity to help and show love to, and show mercy to, and show compassion to, because it's necessary for your own salvation. You didn't understand that. We didn't understand that person's shortage, that he didn't, but what he didn't have, that was your chance. You didn't see it as an opportunity, though. Let me put something in your pocket.
You didn't work out your own.
Yeah, you need to work out your own salvation. That's what we say. But we didn't look at this person's needs as an opportunity. We didn't understand that. Why you always broke? Why you always need help? Why you always coming up short? God helps those that help themselves. That's what it says in the world. God helps those that help themselves. You ain't gonna find that in the Bible. God helps those that help themselves. Yeah, we despise it. We didn't want to do it anyway. But what I didn't realize I was looking at was a chance for me to be saved from my own situation. That was opportunity. His needs was my opportunity to show mercy and compassion. That's why that person was in need. It was for me to fill the void. It was for me to come through. That's why the folks I put that broke person around me. Not to complain about why you ain't got it, why you always begging, why you always asking. That was my chance. We didn't even understand that. Read. Oh.
But despised it.
But they did what?
They despised it.
They got on their nerves, man. I'm not going over there to help that brother. You gotta help himself. I'm not going over there to help that sister. Yeah. She gotta help herself. Yeah. I'm not doing that. I got my own work. I got my own responsibility. I gotta bear my own cross. That was a chance. That was an opportunity. If we knew the needs of one another, fill the gap. Look to compensate for that person. Look to recover the needs of that person. Look to fill the void. Look to be the help. Look to nurture. He said, but they despise that opportunity. Read.
The same must know it after death.
And they're going to realize it when?
After death.
Not while they're alive. They're going to know that they blew an opportunity after death. How?
By pain.
By what?
By pain.
I thought when you die, you at rest. Rest in peace.
By pain.
R.I.P.
Pain.
Ash to ash, dust to dust.
Pain.
Rest in peace, rest in pain, right? He said, for those that didn't know that the needs of our brothers and sisters was an opportunity to show mercy and compassion and charity, they're going to understand that they ruined that opportunity and they missed that chance and they blew that chance. When they died, after they died, through the what?
Through pain.
Through pain. That means that when that pain is scorching and it's hot, that's when you're going to realize, I messed up. Should have did it. I should have gave. It's too late. You don't know you blew your chances. You know what? Every day is a chance. Every day is an opportunity. Instead of waiting for somebody to call me and see what help I need, why don't I call somebody and see what help they need? The scriptures say this in Proverbs. A man that has friends must first show himself friendly. That means that if I really want friends, well, that person ain't looking after me. They ain't calling me. They ain't checking on me. Because that's what we like to do. We like to base our charity upon who's been given to us and who's done for us. They're too busy for me. They don't have time for me. So I don't have time for them. They don't check on me. They don't call me. They don't love me. Well, why don't you love first? Why don't you pick up the phone and call first? Why don't you look to see how you can provide help for someone first? Instead of sitting back saying, nobody's doing it for me. No, you're blowing your own opportunity. This is about your salvation with the Father. So what if you don't feel like it's being reciprocated? Or are you giving it when you have the opportunity? Yes.
Would an excuse be a provision for the flesh? Like because you
When you say provision for the flesh,
like your flesh is telling you that you don't want to be that person, you don't want to continually give. Would that excuse that you tell yourself be like a provision for that?
a provision is an excuse. You know, a provision is, let me make sure that my flesh is satisfied or I'm comfortable. It's about making sure I'm taken care of. I'm making sure that my needs are being provided for first.
So instead of us,
That's the
because
first.
we outwardly we don't look at ourselves as being that old. So like that's why I was asking the question, would an excuse mean a provision? Because sometimes we say, oh well, if they need me, they'll call me.
Right.
If they, if they really need the help, then they'll reach out and
Right. And you know, that's basically an excuse. That's me looking out and me twisting up and deciding I'm trying to dictate who needs. If we really take the time to examine, especially know that their labor of money. If I take the time to examine my brother and examine his situation, for example, we understand what we need to do to survive, correct? We know that when the groceries are short in the refrigerator, it's time for us to do what? It's time to go to the store. Or it's time to hustle up some money or something to get some food in the house. Right. We know when the bill is short. We know how to make moves. Rob Peter to pay Paul. We know how to hit the pawn shop or whatever we're gonna do, you know, to within legal means to get the rent paid and the bills paid. Go to work, do overtime, work extra. We know how to compensate for the lack and the shortages. And we come up with ideas to compensate for our shortages. Do we take the time out to have the same mental capacity to create and to assist and to offer ourselves up in the same capacity to compensate and recover somebody else's losses and shortages? Do I have the mind frame to put the needs of another person as priority as I do my own? Just as much as I know that I need gas, I should also know that they need gas. Just as much as I should know that I need food, I should know that they need food. Just as much as I know that I need help with whatever it is in the house, I should know that they need help with whatever it is in the house. You know, it's not like John F. Kennedy says, not what your country can do for you, but for what you can do for your country. You know, in a sense, that's what it's about. You know, it's about what can you bring to the table for the body versus what can I receive from the body.
Yeah.
A lot of times we only want to give based upon what we feel we receive. You know, and that's how we measure our charity, based upon how others have done for me. So I measure my charity based upon how I look at people. They don't come through for me, so I'm not coming through for them. That's the wrong way to look at charity. Yeah, it's not fair. But we have to look at charity as if they need it and I can do it, let me do it. Doesn't matter if they're not doing it for me, the Most High will take care of me. That's why it requires faith. Will the Most High compensate me for the trouble that I'm going through to help this other individual? So it does require a lot of faith. But read verse 11 again.
Verse 11. And they that have loathed my law,
Go ahead.
while they had yet liberty.
So this is a chance. Every day you have an opportunity to fill the needs of somebody else. He says that was the liberty that the Most High was giving us. Did I wake up with other people's needs on my mind? Or did I wake up with my own needs on my mind? That was my opportunity. Go ahead.
And when as yet place of repentance was open, unto them, understood not, but despised it.
But they despised it. So this is a chance for us to take advantage of one another's needs and show that we love the Father by compensating for one another. Go to Galatians chapter 8. Chapter 4. Sorry. Go to Galatians chapter 4. Verse 8 through 11.
Galatians chapter 8, or excuse me, chapter 4, verse 8.
Read that.
Howbeit then, when ye knew not the Most High,
The Most High said, check this out. We was probably more charitable when we didn't know the Most High. Hey, you need a ride, bro? We call. Hey, you need a ride? I got your back. We was more giving in the world than we are in the truth. Hey, you need some groceries in there? I got you. Need a ride? I got you. You need babysitters? I got you. You need help moving? I got you. When we was in the world, we exhausted ourselves with people. Now that we in the truth, we do this. I don't know. Call me back. Hit me up next week. He said in the world, when we didn't know the Most High, he said what?
howbeit then, when ye knew not the Most High,
Go ahead.
ye did service unto them.
You did what?
You did service unto them.
When somebody called you, wasn't you there?
You did service unto them.
So when your mother called you, was you there?
You did service unto them.
So when somebody needed you to borrow $100, did you give it to them?
You did service unto them.
So when you didn't know the truth, somebody needed $10, did you give it to them? When somebody needed a beer, did you buy it? Did you not do it? We did service to people before we knew the Most High. He said, howbeit when you knew not the Most High, you did what?
You did service unto them.
Wasn't it family? Blood is thicker than water?
You did service unto them.
What? That's family, man. That's family.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's still your family. I don't care if y'all don't get along. That's still your family. That's still your...
Blood is thicker than mud.
Yeah, blood is thicker than mud. Blood is thicker than water. We had all these sayings because that's family. Cut the YouTube down off. He said that's family. So we had that ability. We had that ability in the world to give and to offer and to be there for someone who called and who needed, to compensate for their lack. Borrow the car.